Hi everyone, I'm Mary Lupien, running for Rochester City Council. You can clap for that. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here today. And it's really good to be in a community where the neighbors feel so strongly about creating a wonderful and desirable and livable city and for their neighborhood. And that shares in the belief that change happens at the local level. And that's why I'm running for City Council. I have a long history of advocacy and community involvement and of building productive relationships. And in that work, I listen to the community's concerns, I advocate on their behalf, and I act to create positive change in my community. I'm focusing on strengthening neighborhoods, improving transportation, and connecting people to living wage jobs because I believe those are the central issues to moving people out of poverty and moving Rochester forward. And the Northwest is home of some of Rochester's most beautiful and unique assets, and they need to be cultivated and not exploited. And City Hall needs to listen to the unique needs of the community, whether that's honoring the charrette process or programs to create the environment for strong small businesses or addressing your calls for more police on the streets. I am committed to making City Council my full-time job and being accessible to the community. And I thank you again for allowing me to be here tonight, and I look forward to earning your support. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to start off with the first of our three questions. The question here is, what will you do to give citizens a voice in the decisions that affect us? Mary, we'll ask you to start. We'll go to 4, 3, 2, 1, and 5.
I think that's an excellent question. Right now, communication is lacking between City Hall and the neighborhoods. And I think we're missing an opportunity. You know, when we have public input meetings at 6 o'clock on a Monday night, not everyone can come to those. And we can't expect the community to always come to our table. We have to go to theirs. We have to be in the neighborhood meetings. We have to be actually on the streets, knocking on doors outside of election time, sharing information and getting feedback from the neighbors. Because it's important that they feel that they're involved in these community decisions, because at the end of the day, the people in the neighborhoods, they live in these neighborhoods and they know the kind of changes that need to happen. And City Hall can come in with their projects, but it's never going to match up with what the community needs unless we involve them in the decision-making process. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go on to our number 2 question for the City Council. What is your view on nuisance points both for businesses and residential properties? We'll start with number 3, Marcus Williams. 3, 2, 1, 5, 4 will be the order.
So our current point system does penalize businesses for calling for 911 for help if anything happens outside their business. And what that does is it makes them feel like they can't actually ask for help. And that doesn't help the neighborhood. And so the point system does serve a purpose, but it also needs to be enforceable. But it also has to make sense. And to my understanding, it's under review right now by the same person who designed the system in the first place. And I'm not sure they have the most objective opinion of that. And so I would recommend reforming the point system to make it so that it's not a penalty for the business to call the police to ask for help, to clear people who are loitering or causing problems, and work with the community to shut down the businesses that are not a good influence in the neighborhood. Thank you.
Okay, here's our question number 3. What can we do, or what can the city do to stimulate and support neighborhood block clubs?
I agree that we need to provide funding to neighborhood groups, and in addition, waiving fees for permits and for events and things that they want to hold in the neighborhood, because the neighborhood groups are our frontline defense against crime and are in the neighborhoods building our communities up, and we need to be supportive of them. And actually, I will say I agree with Andrew about at least reducing the number of at-large positions, because one person for an entire quadrant in the city, that's too large, and we need people to be more accountable, and it's also a lot easier to walk your district if it's smaller, and the at-large people sometimes float around because they're accountable to everybody and no one at the same time. So thank you.
now it's time to wrap up our first panel of the council at large candidates, and we're going to...
Thank you all so much again for the opportunity to speak. I'm Mary Lupien. I'm running for City Council because I know that we have the power to make change happen in Rochester. I want to work with you to make our streets safer for our community, but also safer to walk and bike. I want to advocate for the return to neighborhood schools and community-oriented policing. I want to create jobs in Rochester. I want to support small businesses. And I want to work with the community to always be proactive with communication. Like I said, by knocking on doors to hear concerns and spread information, not at election time. Everyone's always used to candidates that coming around their door asking for their vote, but they never see them at the door after that. And I want to bridge the gap between that government and the people living in our neighborhoods. So I look forward to earning your support and to be your full-time representative on City Council. And I thank you all for being here and participating in our democracy, because this is what it takes. We can't just sit around and let things happen, and you guys are all taking action. And it's incredibly inspiring to me to see all the neighborhood groups working together. It's not just CCA who's here, it's many neighbors building neighborhoods, it's people from Plex, and that's how we have to do it. So thank you so much.